Trisha, coming back to the video CV, do you think like the young people or the young lads, they are more confident facing the camera, they can just turn on the camera and then they can just start recording themselves? And do you think, is it a little bit harder for old age people who are, I don't want to mention that bracket, but let's say like old age people, and now the buzz is there for the video CV and to grab more opportunities and the self-branding expert, Pega, she also mentioned, it's becoming essential for everybody to establish yourself as a brand. Now we are living in the digital space. We need to create the value that we have. We need to put it out there for people to know. So do you think like, is it a little harder for the old age people? Like they are not so tech friendly but they have to face the camera now and compared to the young people?
To be honest with you, I think this might be a textbook answer here, but I don't think age actually matters because, it doesn't matter. You could have like 50-plus-year-olds be comfortable and confident in front of the camera because that's just their personality. Maybe some small tweaks in terms of having the camera the right way or uploading it to YouTube, but I think being in front of the camera is just your personality. It doesn't matter what age you've got. You could have an 18-year-old who is completely shy and say, oh my God, no way am I doing that. Or you could be having 50-year-old saying, absolutely, get me the camera right now. So I don't think age plays a factor. It's just, your personality, and as you're saying, it's a lot of extrovert that would be comfortable versus someone introvert. It's just being confident and comfortable.
Right. Is there a special, do we need like high-end cameras to create those video CVs? Because obviously you have talked about that we need to have the best lighting, a really nice background. So do you think that video CV can be recorded at home? And if at home, then what kind of environment we need to have, or we should go to a cafe and record the and about the equipment?
So speaking from my own experience, and I've worked with a number of clients and helping them with a video pitch or a leadership pitch, video CV, it's super easy. Honestly, if you may allow me, you could have your simple phone and you can turn it on an angle like this rather than straight, and that will just, that would be fine. So long as you've got enough lighting, you don't need the fancy flash lighting. You can literally get one of those rings, the eye rings, and put that in front of you and have an adequate background. Of course, it depends on the level. What type of video are you wanting to create? Something with completely flash backgrounds, the Burj or all of the desert maybe, or you're just looking for a plain background, you can literally have your iPhone on a diagonal angle.
And no need to make like those big investments in getting a Canon or Nikon, those high-end DSLRs, just I think they will do the job.
At the end of the day, it's what your budget allows you. If you want to go and hire someone to do the most fancy.
Right. And the bottom line is, if you can't record yourself in front of this camera, you won't be able to record yourself in front of those DSLRs. So better get comfortable at least with the camera.
That's right.
And then go ahead and make further investments in case.
Yes, and don't forget to look at the dot. So quite often, when you're on the screen, if you've got the laptop or the camera, you look at the camera, but you're actually not looking into the screen. Exactly. So you're actually looking downwards when you're viewing it.
So like right now, I'm speaking with you.
The camera's there.
The camera is right there, exactly. So this is the Jobs Talk Show, third episode, sponsored by I Want to Work, one of the leading job portal in the UAE. Today we have panelist Trisha Chapman, who is the CV writing expert, the managing partner for the impressive CV. Pega Gold, the self-branding expert and Amazon's best-selling author, and Luis Mawai, who is the head of the HR and has been in the UAE for more than a decade. Coming back to you, Pega.
Like the back cameras of the phone are much better than the front camera. So you can always use that back camera and look at that, and you can have a mirror behind it, so you can see yourself and you can have the focus on the mirror as well.
But one of the challenges, because I do a lot of video recording and I use just my mobile to do that. So I have a ring at home and I would put, for example, if I have to record a vertical video or if I would go for a horizontal one, doesn't matter. But I would use the front camera, all right? Because I can see the dimension. So I can see myself fitting in the frame. Rather, I would use the back, and then I would need another person to, who would tell me like, yes,
or you can have like a mirror behind the camera, so you can see yourself, how do you look,
this is one of
these things.
This is a quick tip to, if you have to use the back camera. So the next time I'm not going to call my friend to tell me that, I'm fitting in the frame, just have the mirror and then, get things. All right, coming back to LinkedIn. And, we are talking about different ways to self-branding and establishing yourself as a brand, and Trisha is digging more deep into the video CV making. So once we have that video file ready, once we have that, ourselves, no. So once we have that video file ready to brand, so how we can brand it on LinkedIn? What are different ways that LinkedIn provides us to brand ourselves, and also how we can use the file itself to brand on LinkedIn?
Okay. I think the basic one that everyone needs to have, and as Trisha mentioned also earlier, is the very generic one about you. So people know who is behind this picture, So obviously your tone, the way that you're talking, your body language, the way that you're even smiling, and all this thing has much more effect than having just a static picture of you, and some of it is not like even really saying who you are, So yes, that one as a cover needs to be there, So everyone knows if they're coming to your page who you are and what you do. But also, you don't need to just, having one off and then done, it could be that one, but, what I recommend is that even for the market thought leaders that I'm talking with, not only job seekers, even people that they're actually, they want to be known in their own company, as a leader, or they're entrepreneur, or they're job seekers. It's nice to have a consistent way of posting your videos and talking about things that is kind of reflecting on your thoughts. It's talking about who you are, saying it in a different way. So it's like a blogging, but more like recording your the way of you blogging. And also, you always can use them in a different platform. So you can post it on LinkedIn, for example. Again, I'm going to banking because banking was my expertise when I was in the recruitment. So you do banking and you have some knowledge to share. You just share it. Or you're in marketing and you want to talk about something like digital marketing, the importance of digital marketing, or the importance of branding in the marketing, because marketing is also, it's a very vast area. If you have something to share, just share it, even for a few minutes. But the most important things at the beginning of the recording of yourself, which cannot be a CV, but it can be a part of your branding. They need to know who you are. For example, for me, hi everyone, my name is Pega Gol, and I'm the author of the Amazon best-selling book called The Formula. This one is always there. Everyone, when they see my videos, they know. Even sometimes between my friends, they're like, oh, the Amazon best-selling author of The Formula. They already got it. It's called subliminal priming. It's already going to subconscious of the people. So they see you, they know who you are. Sometimes, as I mentioned earlier, I was attending an exhibition, and everyone looked at me and they're like, oh my God, you're Pega Gol on LinkedIn. And I was like, wow, how do you recognize me? And I had a mask on, But that's how they see me and they perceive me, because I'm consistent, and I post videos about different topics that reflecting on what I do. So it should be like a normal practice. Do it consistently, at least once a week, once every 2 weeks. But these need to be there, because when they're coming and checking your profile on LinkedIn, they're not only do the cover and then they're leaving. They want to know what's going on within their mind of that person. So what kind of personality she or he has, and then what their interest about, what they share that it might be, very interesting, or kind of having say about them. And using the description, it's very important as well. So this video is about this, so having it like a tagline or something on the top to share what is that about. So when they are checking, they know that this is about marketing, this is about me, this is about my own experience. And yes, that's part of the CV. But what I can also recommend, sometimes it's difficult for us to get there with the video CV and video recording. Do it as a blog, do it as a post, and then do that post as a recording, So, and then you can use that recording not only there on LinkedIn, you can use it on your Facebook, you can use it on your Instagram if you have, or on YouTube. And funny enough that I go to different dimensions, literally different clients, clients come to me from different social media that they are not on LinkedIn. And for example, they come and approach me on Facebook. I don't know, like for example, like Dubai Women's or something like that. They're not on LinkedIn or they're not active on LinkedIn, but they're very active on Facebook. And then they find my video and they see like the tags and on all these things, and they come across and they want to collaborate with me, or they want to work with me, or they have some people in the C-levels that they need kind of expertise to brand themselves like myself, you know.
And when it comes to the tools on LinkedIn, so I think we can use the cover story, we can use posting. I quite like this idea, rather than making a one video and you would just post it there, so do it like a blog. So you have multi-skills, for example, as a marketing expert, you have different skill sets, Google AdWords, SEO, content writing, digital marketing, influencer marketing. So you already have 6 different kind of videos that you can make, and you can spread across different social media platforms, rather than just making one video. Obviously you can go for one video, which is the 2 to 3 minutes. Yes, the essential one, and you can load it there, but you can also start doing the blogging as well, which is, I think, is a very nice way as well to giving people those small things about your personality, about your skill sets. Luis, the important part now. So video CV has been created. The job applicants or the person who is trying to establish their brand is doing the job. Now, when it comes to reaching out to the recruiters and when we are submitting the job application, how do you prefer to receive the video CV? Should they apply for the job online and post the USB through a mail, or that this is the CV? So every now and then you are receiving a USB, and you make sure in the job ad that this will eventually become the property of the USB will become the property of the.
For me, I prefer a link on the CV, because again, I work in a very fast-paced environment, and I need to get things done very, very quick. I don't have time to go to different places. So if you just put your link on the resume, it's easier for me. I just click on it, go watch your video, and then I make a decision based on that.
How long do you think the recruiter would spend time in watching the video? So if you get
question.
like 500 CVs, and out of them, for example, 200 would have the link. So you are just sitting the whole day with a cup of coffee. I'm just watching,
Very good question.
How much time would you spend in watching the video CVs?
I give a candidate 30 seconds to 1 minute.
The first 30 seconds or 30 seconds?
30 seconds to 1 minute to sell yourself.
Okay.
Or to brand yourself.
The first 30 seconds to 1 minute, or like
30 seconds. So I watch the first 30 seconds, and then to a minute, to 60 seconds.
Right. Okay.
So total 1 minute for me to either go forward or reject the candidate.
Right. Yeah. This leads to another important question, Trisha. So how the applicants now, what they need to talk within the first 30 seconds, which eventually will be helping them to establishing themselves as a brand in front of the recruiters, but
Very
what
important.
they need to talk in the first 30 seconds to 60 seconds.
So first of all, obviously you need to make sure that you are reading the job description. This is specifically for an application, not just something, a generic one. You don't want to be showcasing the number of years of experience that you've got in, say, for example, marketing manager, but the position is completely, totally different or not very similar to a marketing manager. So you want to have, a punchline, who you are, how many years of experience that you offer, and a little bit of personality, making sure that you're showing who you are, and why hire you. And then, of course, you can go into your achievements or what you bring to the table. You could be asking rhetorical questions, for example, so why hire me? And then proceed. Or what would you benefit out of having me as your HR manager? And then continue to proceed. So I think it's really important that you initially capture them within, literally seconds, for them to be entertained and have that subconscious thought that they want to listen about more,
Right.
So master your elevator pitch.
Right. That's the key. That's
Absolutely.
The key. All right. Peg, now, since we're coming to the end of this third episode of the Jobs Talk show, and we're talking about video CV making and self-branding. So when it comes to the social media, so what are the do's and don'ts when it comes to the self-branding? So do's, I think we have talked about, but what they should avoid, or the person who is trying to establish a brand, they need to be very, very aware of. and be careful?
Yes, a very good question. It's coming back to the same thing that I talked about it earlier. It's very much important that to know what they want to achieve. You know, so if they want to get another job in marketing, for example, they need to talk about that. So just don't be, don't share everything about everything. You know, like you cannot just. You need to be consistent, not only about how you post things. It's about what you're talking about. If you're in marketing, just talk about marketing. If you're in HR, just talk about HR. If you are in marketing but you want to be in HR, talk about things that you want to achieve. You know, so it's very important to be consistent about the content that you're creating. What you want everyone to perceive you as. You know, you cannot just one day talking about marketing, the other day talking about, I don't know, like your holidays and being just so random about things. Otherwise you don't get anywhere. You know, so in my book even I mentioned that, you know, like if you don't know where you want to go, every road is getting you nowhere. So because you don't have the clear goal. So the most important is to have a clear goal. This is the do's, and the don'ts is like don't be. Right. Yes. And the second one is the consistency. Again, I mentioned. In social media in general, we have something like algorithm, and people that they are doing lots of social media, they know that they're like it's a AI things. It's a very much technology relevant, that they're checking how often you're posting things, and depends on that they are like evaluating how your reach is going to be. So it's very much important also that you do it. If you're doing it once a week, do it once a week. If you're doing it once every 2 weeks, do it once every 2 weeks. The third one is the audience. So like you need to have the proper audience, and you should not just share everything for everyone. Like if you want to get employers that they are actually looking for marketing manager, you need to have those people, you know, in your network, and you need to add those people and target those ones to understand who you are and what do you do and all. So if I want to share this, I think these three are the most important one to, you know, the don'ts.
When it comes to the don'ts, all right.
Yes.
Luis, would you like to share the last minute tip for our audience when it comes to the video CV making, or when they are establishing their brand from a recruiter side?
Yes.
Because you also go on different social media platforms, look for the candidates, using different filters, different keywords. So what is your advice to the applicants?
Well, one more advice that I'd like to share with candidates out there is when you see a job post, especially on LinkedIn, the worst thing you can do is just write interested. You've seen that a lot.
Yes.
But then when I look at your profile, but then when I go to the job portal or the job profile, you've not even applied for the position. Yeah. So you just write interested, and that's it. You don't apply for the role. So as great as your profile is, unfortunately, I will not shortlist you for the position because you didn't take the time, you didn't take the initiative, or you just didn't follow simple instructions. Apply for the job. The other thing that I normally always tell candidates is if I've posted a job for, let's say, it's a sales position, but then you write to me and say, I'm applying for a marketing position within the same job post, that's something else that I would encourage candidates, or I would advise candidates not to do that. Because again, you will be blacklisted. Yeah, you'll be placed somewhere in our little naughty box where we say, you know, these are people who are just applying blindly or writing. They're not serious about their careers. That's how I look at it. They're also not professional. So you are blacklisted purely based on those tiny little things that candidates do.
About the don'ts, don't apply for every job. It's not going to help anyway in your personal branding. It's actually backfire on you, and it's actually have a very negative effect on your branding. So they're like, oh my God, this is the same. Because I was a recruiter, I used to receive like thousands of applicants, and I know that one applicant has applied for every job that we posted. So that one, we knew that is absolutely no way we are going to even look at their CVs, you know. So
it also happened with me just last month. There was a candidate. Obviously, I'm not hiring for any positions, but there was a candidate who would send me the CV every day. I would receive.
That's something else.
Every single day I would receive the CV from that candidate. And I was like, and then I had to move that email address into the spam, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yes, so you're very right. I mean, you might be experiencing more
Yeah.
often than me. Yes.
Yeah, I get that as well. Where someone, I don't know whether there's something they're using. I am tech savvy, but I'm not. I don't know if they're putting like an auto send.
Right.
So every single day, there's a scheduler. So every single day, you're receiving an applicant or rather an application over and over again. And what they don't realize is that doesn't put them in a positive light. If anything, I'm going to, as you said, I'll spam them, junk them, and and at times, exactly. Or sometimes they're applying for the position and they've written to a million companies or a lot of companies. So again, it's about self-branding. You're applying to my company, but then you've not even bothered to blind copy, or so you see all the names, all the companies you're applying to and saying, I want a job, and it's over and over again. So you are automatically junked purely based on that.
Great. I hope you guys are learning a lot when it comes to the video CV making. Obviously, we'll after this, I'm going to ask a tip from Trisha as well when it comes to the video CV making and which apps our audience they can use, or simply just the camera and trim it from the beginning and the end and then just upload it, or would you like to recommend some mobile apps where they can go and edit? Obviously, I have some names in my mind as well because I use those apps very often and because I record a lot of videos. So I hope this session was insightful for all of you, right? All right, let's go to our audience now and see what questions they have from the experts, and our experts are here to answer our audience's questions.
Hi, my question is, in the CV, which part is the most attractive one to put the video link? That means straight under the image or on the profile section or the skill section, or which part in the CV is more attractive?
Thank you for the question. I would say for me, within your profile, because again, it's about you selling yourself, right? Branding yourself. So it should be within your personal details from me. I don't know if about...
At least right on the top somewhere.
Exactly, somewhere where it
Stand
says
out.
the link to your video resume.
Put it under your contact details.
Yeah.
Email, phone, LinkedIn,
Yeah.
videos,
Yeah, exactly.
and then YouTube is probably the easiest. You can hide it into.
Yeah.
Don't hide it.
Signature.
And don't put it right at the end because we don't tend to go all the way to the end, right? So where your profile is, where your phone number is, email, contact details, that's where you put your link.
Okay.
Question?
So the other question is, in video CVs, what are the things we should tell and we should not tell?
You're talking about like the script, how we should sell ourselves?
Yes.
Okay. Trisha?
And obviously, Trisha have mentioned some points what to mention on a video CV, but I'm asking what could be we should not tell in the CV.
So you need to keep it specific to the application. So for example, if your application says you want SAP experience or Oracle, quite often they'll have hard and soft skills. So you then need to talk about yourself with those hard and soft skills. So you wouldn't be talking about that you were, the GPA of 5, a high score when your university was 10 years ago. You wouldn't be showcasing that you are the football, rugby superstar when the position is for Microsoft or, a company. So be relevant to the company and the job application and specifically to the skills, both hard and soft, that they're asking of you. Because you've got a minute 30, in some cases a minute, okay? You want to be concise, consolidated, and to the point as possible, and of course in an engaging way.
Exactly. And one of the best way that you can do is, as Trisha mentioned, is to highlight your relevant achievements based on the role. So while you're talking about those achievements, so you can put the text there. So because once they see it, they might remember it as well. So you're talking about like you achieved different
new market segment. Yeah, exactly.
Different numbers, for example, numbers. So you can put Exactly.
sales figures. You could make a quick little line, sorry to take over, but for example, hi, I'm Trisha Chapman, but not only am I Trisha Chapman, I'm also an avid soccer fan. Aside from that, I've got 10 years of experience as a digital marketeer, and so you've added a little bit of flavour from all of the sides, and you haven't just waffled on about your personal interests. You get me?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Personality.
Let's say I'm a banker. Will it work in a banking industry?
Of
Because
course.
the usual practice is we normally send the PDF CV
Yeah.
and we wait for the call.
Yeah.
So in banking industry, will it video CV will work? In more creative industries, it will work. I'm sure. But when it comes to banking or some relevant industries like that, will it work?
So if you continue to do the same thing, you'll get the same results, right? So don't forget, quite often now banking, finance, it's a huge industry. There's a lot of people within this sector, especially now that the fintech is growing. So you've got an ever evolving sector. So you need to stand out. So not only can you say that, please find attached my CV, and please, for your interest or for your pursuit, here is my video resume. So you could use both, so that then someone within the industry who might not be comfortable with videos yet, or is lacking time, they don't have to read the videos, read the PDF, or they could click it if they wanted to.
I highly recommend you to start doing it, as Risha said also. Just do it along with what you're doing normally, because if we want to or we don't want to, the technology is really evolving. And it will reach to the point that you don't need to even send your normal CV. You have to send this one. And in future, they have AIs to even recognize your voice, your body language. Even the recruiters don't see it. Like now how we have the ATS, that the robots actually read your CV when you're applying for a job. Most companies, they use it. It will be similar to ATS, but for your video CV. And they will check everything. The AI check everything. Even if they feel that you're not confident of what you're saying, they also have the alert about that. So it's better that you're being pioneer and you start to practice this, then later on, when it's become completely normal, because it will become normal, So, you start to feeling that what should I do? But it will happen. This will be there. Sooner or later, especially after the pandemic, everyone started to realize that. I have some clients that they did all of their interns recruitment, and they did it all through the video CV. Literally, they did not even ask for the normal CV, because the interns are just like in university. They have nothing to write in their CV. It was about their personality, how they're talking, and all the body language and the tone. Like, they can see these things. We all, as a human, we can recognize all of these non-verbal communications. And in very near future, we're gonna have AIs to just check all this in your video CV as well.
So in ATS, will ATS capture this video CV thing in the?
It will be in the future. All the
yeah.
companies, they have something that you literally, they screen your video CV, without having any human involved in between. But till that moment, we can start to practice, and we can start to be more familiar with that. We can be pioneering that. And when I was a recruiter back then, before even the pandemic hit it, I remember in 2017, I had one candidate, literally, it was the only candidate who sent me the video CV, not the video CV, he started to talk about himself. And I was so blown out. I was like, wow, this is so good. Like, immediately, that candidate for me was different candidates.
Right.
So
Exactly.
So
And
one
I would
last
like to
question,
add as well here that, so if you are thinking about from the side that you will create the video CV and you have to upload it on LinkedIn, all right, so don't worry about that. So we're not recommending you to, because obviously you have your network, your friends, for example, you are potentially looking for an opportunity, but we are talking about establishing yourself as a brand and putting your video CV out there. So we're not just saying posting on LinkedIn, but you can use the job portals. So what if tomorrow all the employers, they would say please upload your video CV onto the job portals? What if tomorrow all those leading UAE job portals, including I Want to Work With, give you the opportunity that you can place your video, you can upload your video there on the platform. and the employers, they see it. So once you apply for the job, and what if they would use the filter, show only candidates who have the video CVs. All right, so it's an opportunity for you to upload your video CV. So be comfortable, upload it, and then at a later stage, as Pega mentioned about doing the blogging about multiple topics around your skill sets, around your expertise, that maybe you can publish on LinkedIn, Facebook, and even you can create your own YouTube channel, because you are talking about something good. You're talking about your expertise, you're talking about your experience. But a video CV, I also would not recommend, for example, to just start sharing it that I'm looking for a job, but you can use the job portals. And I want to give you the opportunity where you can stand out in front of the employers, in front of the recruiters, because once they are looking, now this is the answer to your first question, that a video CV, does it matter across different industries, or only in the creative industries that we should upload or we should share? But when it comes to the banking, now imagine if you're applying for a position, accounting position in one of the leading bank, and the job is posted on a job portal, but your video CV is there. So they have the opportunity to see you in person. You are talking, so you are making yourself stand out in front of the recruiters and also within that pool of the applicants. And the worst thing, if in the future, the employers, they have the filter, I want to work has the filter that the employers, they can filter the candidates who have their video CVs on the portal. That's how you can, go a mile further. Yes, exactly.
First of all, I would like to ask, as you all mentioned earlier, we have to make the video CV. So while applying to any job, we have to make different video CVs, or we have to make only one video CV? Because we have to make, as Suhaib sir mentioned in most of your videos, that we have to make multiple versions of our CV. Likewise, we have to make multiple versions of video CVs too. And then if I'm applying to different jobs, so my video resume should be relevant to every job application which I'm applying to, or should I make only one good video resume which should be good enough for all my videos, or all my kind of resumes which I'm applying for? So what is the best way? And even this will take a lot of time to make one good resume, one good video CV. People or the people like me who are shy to face the camera, who have done who have the experience, market experience, they're a marketing person. But again, I am shy to face the camera, to talk to myself, even the things which you mentioned earlier. So what should I do? Talking about myself, because I am a job seeker, I am applying for jobs. So making a one video will be really hard for me, but making multiple videos is difficult task for me to do. Even harder. So what is the best way to go through this whole process?
I know that you're the expert. I'm just sharing my own things and I pass it on to you. So what I can say that I'm under the impression that you are applying for the similar jobs. Yeah. So it's not going to be very different. So that's something that helps you to stay focused on one thing, like mostly what is your expertise. What I can suggest that have something that you create for your own, talking about yourself, very quickly the first 30 seconds, because that won't change anyways. Whatever you apply, that would be the first 30 seconds is about you, who you are and what you're doing. But then you can maybe have the second part, maybe after the 1 minute, maybe you can mix it with the first 1 minute, and talk about the different expertise, depends on the job application and the requirement of the job. So in this case, you have the 1 minute about you and your achievements and who you are and all. And then if you want to continue to have why they should hire you, why you are good for this job, then you have the specific one recorded, and then you can maybe put it for the first one. I don't know if it's something that you think that is...
I'm fully aligned with you. I think that if it's not cross-sector or cross-functional positions that you're applying for, you can keep one that's quite comprehensive in terms of the skill sets that you offer for that sector. Okay. And then you can perhaps make a small section if there's something specific that is highlighted that it's a must and you haven't included it in the initial version. But if it's not something that you're going as a cross-functional role, or you're not going for something like a leadership position, you know, outside of the job scope, then keep it as one. Don't, you know, it's timely. It can be stressful because and how many
Definitely.
takes that you do.
Definitely.
So, you know,
Right.
save yourself some time.
Okay.
And I can also add here just a little bit. I think it's much easier to create multiple video series, in my personal opinion, than to create one. Because if you have to create one, so you have to talk everything about everything within one. So it's more pressure, a video, when you're going to record like one video and you're going to talk about everything.
Yes.
All right. So again, now think from a perspective of an applicant. You are submitting your job application to the recruiter.
Yes.
All right. So YouTube, for example, they are asking you to submit a link on your CV so that they can click and they can watch the video. So if you create multiple CVs, multiple video CVs, and you have them on a Google Drive, or you have them on your YouTube channel, and then you have made those videos private, so that people, they cannot see the other videos unless they would have the link. So you are applying for a marketing role, more specific. They are asking that you should be Google AdWords specialist, for example, or
Yes.
SEO marketing. So you know, okay, I have created a video CV which is on my YouTube channel. Video is made private. So you take up that link and then you post it on a CV, because you have explained everything within 2 minutes about Google AdWords, about the campaigns and how you can grow the reach, each and everything about it. All right. But obviously, as Trisha mentioned and Pega, you can have that one video CV as well that you can use, because people, they will be reaching out to you sometimes. Okay, give us your profile. All right. That is when you can use that video file as well. But you can create more specific videos, like a 2 minutes.
Max.
And you can have them on a YouTube, but make sure to make them private so nobody can see it. So if they're watching one video, no other videos are visible, unless they have the link. All right. So, but when you are applying for one position, which video link you need to use on your CV, and then you have to apply. But obviously, once you are uploading your video CV, for example, on I Want to Work platform, so just make it a comprehensive. It gives you the opportunity that you can upload. So have everything in front of you, and then talk about everything, and then make it a more comprehensive profile video CV, I would say.
Is this right to contact recruiters and ask them feedback, to give feedback on your video resumes, on your traditional soft resumes? Is this right? And I really want to know whether we should directly contact the recruiters and ask them to give a feedback, even just the way you said, we should paste a link. So if we need motivation on our video resumes, we need a feedback on our video resumes. So how can we get that? Because we are own director, how we are going to take a feedback on our resume? Either it's wrong, either we have made any wrong statement, or we have been we have spent spent too much time on making that video. So what is the right way to get the feedback, and also what is the right way to contact recruiters while we are seeking jobs?
From my perspective, how do I answer this? Because sometimes I will respond and give advice, especially if I've interviewed you and unfortunately you didn't make it. Some candidates, which I actually like that, they'll reach out and ask me, what could I have done better? And I like that, because then, I find that very professional, and I also like the fact that they're that assertive to actually ask me the question, and I always give them the feedback. And that's, for me, from my perspective, I have no issue giving you feedback. But what I don't give feedback on is, sometimes you'll cut that. But sometimes I may not be able to respond to every individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally
So, for
understand that.
example, if someone writes to me and says, "What did you think of my resume?" and I've not even interviewed you, unfortunately, I will not respond. But if I've interviewed you, and then you're asking me for feedback why you are not selected, I'm more than happy to give the feedback, including if there's a video link, I'll give you feedback on that as well. Yeah.
So video link is going to help us anyway, the video resume.
So my question is, are you going to ask feedback about your normal CV when you're applying? Obviously not.
Yes.
You're not reaching out everyone that you're applying and said, how is my CV? What do you think about my CV? You're reaching out to experts that they're actually doing CV, you know, or you're reaching out to people that they're in the positions that they're receiving CVs, but they're your friends, you know, and you're asking them, what do you think about it? Because they're in the recruitment, they're in HR, they have a kind of understanding. So if you want to do it, I suggest that do it this way instead of reaching out to everyone. As Louise mentioned, as much as we want to help, I was a recruiter that I was working 14 hours a day because I want to help more. I want to stay longer hours. I want to give feedback. And that's how I ended up become a career coach and personal branding advisor. But we don't have time for every single candidate. And it's kind of become a little bit in our shoulder that we have to get back to them. We don't want to, they feel that we are rejecting them, we are not answering them, we are just like ghosting them. But we cannot reach everyone, we cannot reply to everyone. So if you reach to the certain level with the internal recruiter that you, for example, you got rejected, yes, it's a good time to ask for the feedback. But at the beginning when you apply, just go through the experts. They're experts sitting here, you know what I mean? They're experts that you can reach out, that this is their expertise, doing video CVs, doing writing resumes, and they, you know, they can give the best advice, or reach out to people that they're in that domain, and they can, you know, they are your friends that they can help you with that. Hope that helped.
Actually, I put together specifically for this show a quick little checklist that I have emailed to Sahib. So, you know, you are absolutely welcome. You can have it. It's a checklist how to follow. It's really basic. It's not a checklist, but I think 7-point guide. So, you know.
Right.
You
So
can
after
follow that.
this, so just let us know and then we'll just forward you through email.
Okay.
Right. The last question for today.
Whether this unemployment gap which makes it difficult to crack the job?
Thank you for the question.
Yeah.
I actually get a lot of candidates who've had that gap in their career, and I normally want to know why. What was the gap for? Was it maybe family related? Was it redundancy? But I prefer candidates who are very, very honest. Yeah, who will be willing to tell me why. And there was a candidate I remember one time who had a 1-year gap. But when she came for the interview, I loved her personality. I loved how she came across. I loved the fact that she had done her homework before she came for the interview in terms of understanding the brand, my company, what we are looking for. She was superb, and I hired her based on that. So for me, it all depends on how you sell yourself. It's about personal branding again, branding. Yeah. Yeah.
You have breaks, you have family. It's not your fault if you know from COVID you were laid off. You can just list it, you know, due to COVID, and then say thorough job search or professional development, and then you can list the course. You know, people understand, and recruiters understand we're humans. You know, yeah. Don't hide it. Yeah.
I'm asking this question from Pega. What would be your advice or a comment on a person who is on thought of changing his career? For example, let's say I am a banker and I have an academic qualification in human resources. So throughout my career, I am working in a bank, in international trade services. So I don't have any experience in human resource management, but I am willing to work in human resource management. So how could my branding or the video CV will help to join to human resource management or HR? Because I would like to connect with people and work towards that.
That's a very good question. I love that. And because the personal branding is the thing that helps many people if they want to, you know, change their job function, and especially the industry. And it's fascinating because most of us, including myself, I never choose to like become a recruiter. It was completely by luck, but somehow it was matched with what are my value and all these things, and then how it leads me to become a career coach and personal branding advisor. But the thing is, most of us, we studied something because of our parents, society, and all these things, or we started a job that back then it was fancy, or it was the only job that we could find. And then later on, we ended up like 10 years later, most of my clients, they're like, you know what, I cannot go to my work anymore because I don't like it and I want to do something else completely different. You know, so it's very much, maybe 80% of my clients, they have the same challenge at work. And that's how the beauty of personal branding has come alive, because then you can start to talk about what you like. Then you can start to talk about what kind of relevant experience you have. And then you can start to post more videos about that. I wasn't personal branding advisor when I started to do career coaching, but because of that, people start asking me how we can brand ourselves like you. You know, like, I don't think that anyone started to study at my age personal branding in their, in the university. It's a very new, words that they're using at this moment. But this is how I become expert in this, because I was doing it a lot, and people see that. My videos reach them, my contents reach them. So you can start to sharing like lots of information about what you like, what you're passionate about, what you think that you can do, what you think that you can change. You can start to also have the different target audiences. So, adding more people in HR, and maybe even you can start to mingle with them, just go out for networking with them, start understanding them. And the best thing to do, which I've done it myself as a recruiter, I know everything about banking sector because I met people and I start asking them to share their experiences. You may think that you're bothering them, but they actually love to share their experiences. And while you're doing that, it's part of also your branding. And then you educate yourself, and then you can say that, the other day I sat with this so-and-so and they were talking about this. Make it relevant to whatever area you want to, tackle. And just make sure that everything is consistent, everything is relevant to that topic. You will get there, I promise you. I'm receiving every week, job, they're approaching me for jobs, and I'm like, I'm not looking for job opportunity. But imagine that me, just because I'm posting certain things about certain topics, they are like reaching out to me. It's no way that if you're posting a lot and about one topic, people are relevant to that, they're not reaching out to. You will be seen for sure.
All right, so this was the question and answer session with our audience. This was the third episode of the Jobs Talk show. Today we talked about video CV making and establishing yourself as a brand. Thank you to the panelists today, Trisha, Pega, and Louis, for your time today and sharing these wonderful insights for the audience and when people they are going to watch it live on across social media. If you're looking out for job opportunities right now, make sure to upload your video resume on I Want to Work platform, which is the letter I, digits 1 to wrk.com, and upload your video cover letter today, because employers, they are more keen now to see the person behind profile. So it's an opportunity which I Want to Work platform, which is one of the leading platform in the UAE, giving you the opportunity to brand yourself. Take care and wish you good luck.
Finding a job with the I Want to Work app is easy. Just search the live vacancies on our interactive map to find a job that matches your skills and experience. Sign up and complete your profile. Upload information about your education and career history before posting your very own video CV. Hit apply and let I Want to Work do the rest. It couldn't be simpler.
You don't need to pay, get a job.